I wanna kind of do a little merging on this video. Okay, I want to revisit the Child Support Enforcement Manual right here. This is Section 8. We're talking about, Section 8 Child Support Enforcement Program. Goes through the whole thing. I did a video on this before, like I think one early this year, but I did one a whole lot, like it was a thorough video back in 2019 when I used to talk about this on my old channel. And a side note, y'all, a lot of y'all, I know a lot of y'all reaching out. This is just a side note. A lot of y'all reaching out to me about stuff that I taught back in 2019. Y'all, a lot of the stuff I taught in 2019, I don't support it. I don't, not all of it, but a lot of it, I don't support it. I don't encourage it, because some of it is hit and miss. It also depends on how you apply it. A lot of it's still solid, but not all of it. You know what I'm saying? Some of it I was actually endorsing because somebody got remedy off of it. And I was only co-signing it because somebody actually had, people had testimonies. I don't know if y'all remember, if y'all rocking with me in my previous channel, where I used to actually have phone conversations with people with remedy so they can explain what they did and how it worked for them. That way, people will have other avenues, things they can exercise in their, in their journey. Something they could try to see if it works for them. But I'm on a different path now. I heard somebody actually mention in one of my comments recently saying that somebody would put me on blast about the COL form. I'm like, what the hell they talking about? I ain't mentioned that COL form since 2019. So it's kind of funny to me if somebody recent in this year trying to put me on blast about anything I did in 2019, unless they're just looking at videos I did back in 2019 where somebody's actually using my videos on their channel. If you type in the Emerald Show or something like that, you'll find old videos that I did in 2019. And those are my videos, but I didn't post them. Okay, they shut my channel down. YouTube shut my old channel down back in 2019, in the beginning of 2020, January 2020. So those videos that I posted back then are obsolete to me. So I don't teach it. I'm on a whole different wave now. So now, anything y'all hear somebody talking about something I did back in 2019, you can just, disregard them, because they obviously they're just looking for trouble. But anyway, back on this child support enforcement program. I thought I want to show y'all how how closely, how deadly related this is when I'm talking about the power of attorney and how this thing all comes together. Because I stay on it because y'all need to understand how important this thing is, okay? Now, I'm not gonna read this whole thing, but I'm gonna go to some of the main, just kind of dance around it and find a few things on here to kind of help y'all understand what it was why I stay on this, why I stay on the power of attorney. Okay, now, what was I highlighting at first? Matter of fact, I'm gonna find something and let's see. Okay, let's see. By establishing paternity, withholding, suspending. Keep in mind right here, look at this here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pause right here. Let me see what this says. What section is this? This is page 810. If you download this, this is actually downloadable. You can download this by typing in Child Support Enforcement Manual and you'll find section 8, whatever. Let me see, let me just back up. See, you'll find this here. You'll find that. You click on that and it takes you right to this PDF, okay? Try to show y'all the sources I use so I don't just go to ranting on videos. Some people rant on videos and they don't show y'all no sources of what they're talking about. Okay, now let me see if I can bring this back over here. Okay, what was I, 810 or something like that? 8-10. Passed it. I think it was. Yeah, this is it. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna play with this a little bit. Let me see what it says. The State Employment Security Agency, part of the federal state unemployment compensation system, is required to withhold unemployment benefits and pay child support agency and pay the child support agency any outstanding child support obligations established by an agreement. Notice that word agreement you see all the damn time. By an agreement with the individual or through the legal process. See what I'm talking about? That's first and foremost. Look at that keyword right there. That's You'll see this a lot of times in this whole damn manual. It shows you that child support is an agreement. It's something that you agreed to do some type of way, whether knowingly or unknowingly. I'll just grab this just to kind of pick a little small piece of it out. But I've seen this before where I saw agreement written in this manual many times. So you have to agree with this stuff in order for them to even do anything that they're doing. Okay? A power of attorney deals with an agreement. The power of the one whose estate it belongs to, giving someone else authority to act on behalf of the principal, which is the name in all caps, which is the name of your estate. You're agreeing to give someone authority to administer your estate. Okay? Now, let's keep moving. This is just kind of causing some wheels to turn while I'm explaining this stuff. Other enforcement techniques states must use includes imposing liens against real and personal property for amounts of overdue support. I'm gonna pause right there. Okay, y'all know. Well, no, I'm gonna read that because most of y'all know this stuff anyway. If you're on child support, you or somebody you know that's on child support done experienced this already. So I'm gonna read more than just one. Withholding state tax fund refunds payable to the parent who is delinquent in child support. Let's see. Reporting the amount of overdue support to a consumer credit bureau upon request. That's violation of the Privacy Act too. But keep going. Requiring individuals who have demonstrated a pattern of delinquency payments to post a bond or give some other guarantee to secure payment of overdue support. Okay. Establishing expedited processes within the state judicial system or under administrative processes for obtaining and supporting child support orders and determining paternity. These expedited procedures include giving state authority to secure assets to satisfy payment of past due support by seizing or attaching unemployment compensation, workers' compensation, judgments. This is when somebody got this. I'll get back to that. Judgments, settlements, lotteries, assets held for financial institutions, and public and private retirement funds. Right here, I'm pausing for a second because I've encountered two people who had settlements coming from car accident cases or whatever. This is what happened to a dude that I was talking to a few months ago. He's behind on child support and they took the whole damn thing. Okay? They took the whole damn thing, $124,000 on a settlement, and they took child support, took all of it. So that's part of what they do. It's part of the enforcement program. That's what this manual talks about in enforcement. Okay? Now, withholding, suspending, or restricting the use of driver's license, professional and occupational license. That's crazy. It stops you from working, so you can't pay the damn thing by taking your damn license. Your occupational license, that's your CDLs if you're a truck driver. I know somebody that's happened to. So I'm like, how you gonna pay any damn thing if you take his damn license so he can't pay the shit? He can't make money to pay it. So it's totally unconscionable. And y'all wonder why I don't settle for that shit. And recreational and sporting license and non-custodial parents who owe past due support. That's it, of the non-custodial parent who owe past due support. I knew I heard it said something they had to mess up. Anyway, denying passports to persons owing more than $5,000 in past due support. I think they dropped that to $2,500 now. It's more than $5,000 now, less than $5,000 now. I'm not sure. I have to look that up. I'm not sure yet. But requiring unemployed custodial parents who owe child support to a child receiving TANF benefits to participate in appropriate work activities. See, this is what y'all also don't understand. How do you owe them anything? When y'all study, when I've been telling y'all about the Federal Reserve Act for the last maybe 3 or 4 months now, talking about the Federal Reserve Act, Section 16, Part 1 and 2. Part 2 specifically tells you that applications are being those things get turned in exchange for Federal Reserve notes. You never borrowed anything from anybody. So they create an illusion that they paid for something that they never paid for. They never came out the pocket for any fucking thing. And if you don't read these types of things to understand that's what they're doing to y'all. Anyway, you never borrowed anything. The Federal Reserve Act lets you know that the applications that they turn in, these financial institutions, which they are also a financial institution. The courts are a financial institution. They're all financial institutions. They deal with securities. So that's what the application is. It's a collateral security. It's a security collateral, however they call it. Collateral security is what they call it in the Federal Reserve Act, Section 16, Part 2. Read that for yourself and you'll find out. That's exactly what those applications are for, where you can turn it in for the money. And then they create an illusion like you borrowed it, like they loaned you something, you paying them back. That's what makes it a scam all the damn together. Okay, so when you read that and you understand it, you got a defense right there. Anyway, that was a side note. Moving forward, performing quarterly data matches with financial institutions, and voiding fraudulent transfers of assets to avoid payment of child support. Now, I'm gonna go back over here to what we was talking about, the power of attorney. I'm in Georgia, so I'm gonna use Georgia. Okay, you look in your state and type in power of attorney and put your state behind it, like Alabama power of attorney, California power of attorney, or power of attorney California. Play with the wordplay and find it in your state. Find your state and read your state statutes. What it talk about? It talks about the authority of the agent. Okay, and this is everything that they cover. Everything that they cover. Now, what I just read to y'all in the child support part of it, read for yourself and see. When I read some of these things, see what I just read in the child support enforcement manual. Does it ring a bell about what I just said? Does any of this stuff apply to what I just read to from that manual? Unless a power of attorney otherwise provides language in the power of attorney granting general authority with respect to claims and litigation shall authorize the agent to, see me talking about litigation and claims. This is court right here. Okay. Assert and maintain before the court and administrative agency a claim for relief, cause of action, counterclaim, offset, recoupment, or defense, including an action to recover property. When they take your money, they garnish your wages, action to recover property or any other or any other thing of value. Recover damages sustained by the principal. Eliminate or modify tax liabilities. Okay. Or seek an injunction, specific informants, or other relief. Specific informants. That could be damn near anything. Anyway, that's when they try to get you to find you a damn job. Get a damn job. Try to force you. Try to be on top of you by making you get a job, or get some type of some money coming in. Bring an action to determine adverse claims or intervene or otherwise participate in a litigation. Okay, as you come into court, keep in mind this even applies to when you hire an attorney, because attorneys do this stuff too. They do this stuff on your behalf. That's what powers of attorney give these people that give the agent authority of the agent. It gives them authority to do. Keep going. Where did I stop at? I think I stopped at 2. 3, seeking attachment, garnishment. That sound familiar? See? Order of arrest. That's that warrant right there. I know a couple people got warrants on them right now, and they sit back, that power of attorney does that. They can do that. Okay? Order of arrest. What was that? Number 3? Order of arrest or other preliminary provisional or intermediate relief, and use an available procedure to effect or satisfy a judgment, order, or decree. See what I'm talking about? The judges, the attorneys, these people are acting under power of attorney when they're fucking with you in court. They're doing all this. This is what they're doing. They're operating under power of attorney. Say, make or accept tender. Offer judgment. It's an offer of judgment or admission of facts. Submit submit a controversy on an agreed statement of facts. Consent to examination. Okay. A bind. I was thinking just then. I had a brain freeze for a hot second. I went into a thought process. And bind the principal in litigation. That's what they do. Okay. Okay. Submit to alternative dispute resolution, settle, and propose or accept a compromise. Okay. Keep in mind, these judges are doing this too now. They have the power to do all this stuff, all under power of attorney. Say, submit to alternative dispute resolutions, settle, and propose or accept a compromise. Let's see, waive the issue and service of process upon the principal. Say waive the issuance. Sorry about that. I said issue. Waive the issuance and service of process upon the principal, except service of process appear for the principal. That's what an attorney would do. Designate persons upon which process directed to the principal may be served. And keep in mind, a judge, they'll like say if you don't show up, you don't have an attorney, they may appear on your behalf. That's why that warrant kicks in. That's where that issuance of arrest, where is it at? Y'all saw it. I ain't got to look for it too damn hard. Y'all found it. Yeah, order of arrest. Say they may appear for the principal. These are what they're doing under power of attorney, y'all. Designate persons upon which process directed to the principal may be served. Execute and file or deliver stipulations on the principal's behalf. Does that not sound like power of attorney? You're doing it on the principal's behalf. The principal is the all caps name, y'all. That's the name of your estate. Okay, that is the name of your estate. So you understand that. That's what the principal is. Okay. I think I did a video on the principal. Let's see if I could find that real quick. Bear with me, people. Let's see, what did I do? Principal. Legal definition. I'm on my phone, y'all, looking at this. Yep, someone who authorizes another to act in their place. Let's see, agent, fiduciary, and fiduciary duty. Let me click on this here. Okay. Let's see. Based on the amount of debt or investment, which excludes any interest, profits, or other additional earnings on the basic underlying amount. There's 4 different definitions. I did a video on this. I did a video on this. I knew I did. You can go back and look at my video for this one. Someone with primary responsibility to perform an obligation. But anyway, if you said they're trying to do things on your behalf, is the name on your estate, you have to actually operate that. You have authority to do that on your own. But if they're operating under power of attorney, they're doing it on your behalf for the most part. But the name on they're operating it. Anyway, they're administering your estate on your behalf. That's basically what they're doing. Verify pleadings, seek appellate review, procure and give surety and indemnity bonds, contract and pay for preparation and printing of records and briefs, receive, execute, and file or deliver a consent. Or deliver a consent waiver, release, confession of judgment, satisfaction of judgment, notice, agreement, or other instrument in connection with the prosecution, settlement, or defense of a claim or litigation. Okay, that sounds like in the county recorder's office, maybe doing all kind of dealing with the records or whatever, filing of the documents. Anyway, act for the principal with respect to bankruptcy or insolvency, whether voluntary or involuntary, concerning the principal or some other person. Okay, when they talk about principal right here, they mean the definition number 1 when I looked on Cornell law, it says someone who authorizes another to act in their place. So I guess that would be you. They acting on your behalf. Okay, so you would be the principal in this case. So I stand corrected with that. Okay, to act for the principal with respect to bankruptcy, insolvency, rather than involuntary or voluntary or involuntary concerning, act for the principal with respect to bankruptcy and insolvency, whether voluntary or involuntary. So they acting on your behalf whether you volunteer or not concerning this type of stuff. Concerning the principal or some other person, or with respect to a reorganization, a receivership, or application for the appointment of the receiver or trustee, which affects an interest of the principal in the property or in property or any other thing of value. Your whole estate. When they talk about property, they're talking about your estate, okay? Principal, let's see, interest of the principal, that's you, in your property, or any other thing of value. Keep in mind, let me help y'all understand what it mean by estate, because a lot of y'all don't know what an estate really is. We just hear estate all the time, but we don't know exactly what it is. Estate is the total property, okay? Real and personal. That's all yours. That's all your property. The total, that's the key word. Total property. Real and personal, owned by an individual prior to distribution through a will or trust. That's before it gets distributed, and they don't get distributed till after you pass away, of course. But everything that you own, it's in the name of your straw man, most likely. And even if it's in the name of a trust that you created, it's still property. It's still yours. It's your property. It's part of your estate, okay? So that's what they mean by an estate. It's all of your property. Even your rights are your property. If you have interest in something, your name on it, you have an interest in it. You have part ownership of it. Okay? So you got to understand that. Now let's go back to that. It says which affects the interest of the principal in property or any other thing of value. Okay? They're operating under power of attorney. Okay? Power of attorney, the authority of the agent. Okay, and it started with this. Remember I told y'all I showed y'all in previous videos. You go back and look at my video, where does their power come from? It starts with the principal, it starts with the physician. It starts with the physician who's written on your birth certificate, your certificate of live birth. Your mother gave them consent when she was carrying you in her womb, in her belly. So before you were born, she gave them consent to operate like this. Of course, they unknowingly knowing they were going to do all this for the rest of your damn life until you revoke the power of attorney. But this is how they're doing it, okay? Say pay a judgment, okay? Award or pay a judgment or award or other, or order against the principal. Let's see, pay a judgment, award, or order against the principal or settlement made in connection with a claim or litigation, and receive money or any other thing of value paid in settlement or as proceeds of a claim or litigation. See there? They operating. It's not to help you out for real. They're literally controlling your life through this power of attorney. And it says whether you consent to it or not. Where it go back to it where it says voluntary or involuntary. Whether you even volunteered for it, or not. They did it without you even telling them you wanted them to do it. They just did it anyway. That's just what they do. And then so what if you don't consent to it? It don't matter. That's what they're doing. But going back to this, that covers all of this. Taxes, gifts, retirement plans, benefits from governmental programs or civil and military service. You can click on this on your own at your leisure. I'm just showing y'all how deep this power of attorney goes. As y'all see, I went through this, and where does the power come from? I went through this part right here, personal and family maintenance. This is where they talk about child support orders. Okay, I mentioned that. See right here, making periodic payments of child support and other family maintenance required by a court order, by a court or governmental agency, or an agreement in which the principal is a party. That's the key word again, agreement. You have to agree to that shit. It says done under the power of attorney. It's the agent, okay? If you don't file an answer in that court case, that judge gonna operate as the agent for your estate, and he's gonna operate under the power of attorney, and you're gonna get a default judgment against your ass, and that's how they get you like that. You have to file an answer in there because if you don't answer, it's called acquiescence. Most people don't know. I used to be acquiescence. Acquiescence. I used to be acquiescence. Here we go. Accept something reluctantly without protest right here. That's what it means. Because you chose not to. You chose not to actually respond to it. You accepted it reluctantly, but you accepted it. Accept means to agree. Say without protest. You didn't buck on it. You didn't file no objection in it whatsoever. So that means whether you volunteer or involuntary. Remember I pointed that other part out. They operate under power of attorney, and that's how they operate as the agent for your estate. And here they operate under power of attorney, and they put the order in so that you have to pay that shit. But if you don't rebut it, they're gonna do it. They're gonna continue to do it. Claims and litigation. That's what I just came from. Estates and trusts. That's even when you're deceased or whatever. But whatever if you don't put a will, if you don't create a will, don't have a trust and nothing put in place, power of attorney. they're going to administer your estate. They're going to distribute all your property, whatever, like they're supposed to. And everything go to your heirs. Of course, they probably, I'm sure they're gonna get paid too. But anyway, insurance, annuities. See what I'm talking about? Entities or business, operation of entity and business. They interfere with how you make your money and every damn thing. Even if you're self-employed, you're self-employed and you got that social attached to your business, they're gonna find a way to try to get in there. You know what I'm saying? If you're an independent contractor, like I said, and you're operating as how can I say? Basically using that social. It's connected to that social. But anyway, that's how they're doing this stuff. Banks or other financial institutions. That's how they can get your wages garnish your wages for child support. They take that order, they send it to whoever that is in charge of that bank, and they get that order and they delegate powers. They can delegate powers. Okay? Commodities and options, stocks and bonds, tangible personal property, real property. Construction of authority of agent generally. Let's see references to general attorney modifications. Let's see agent authority that requires a specific granting general. But anyway, I thought let me go on back over here so I can show y'all. I just picked something out there. Y'all see how the things that they're talking about. And remember I told y'all it starts with it's something I highlighted on here. Locating the absent parent. So you need that social security number. It was something else I was going to show y'all on here. I'm going to find it in just a second. Establishing paternity. Y'all can read this at your leisure. I'm not going to go through this whole thing. I'm just trying to show y'all how it all works out. This is how they're able to do this stuff. It's under power of attorney. See, hold on. What does this say? Let me start this. What does this say? This law. Let's see. Congress took additional action to improve paternity establishment in Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act of 1993. This law requires states to have in effect by October 1st, 1993, the following: a civil process for voluntary acknowledgement of acknowledging paternity, under which the state must explain the rights and responsibilities of acknowledging paternity and afford the due process safeguards. Let me go down some. Let's see. Something else that I saw that caught my attention. No, I'm not gonna keep going up. We already know how that goes. Let's see. What was that I found before? That's something. Let me see. Let's see. Establishing orders. Let's see what this says. Child support order. A child support order legally obligates non-custodial parents to provide financial financial support for their children and stipulates the amount of the obligation currently weekly current weekly obligations plus arrearages, if any, and how it is to be paid. Many states have statutes that provide that in the absence of child support or of a child support award, the payment of basically the TANF benefits, payments of TANF benefits to the child of the non-custodial parent creates a debt due from the parent or parents in the amount of the TANF benefits, and that's a lie by itself. That is straight fraud by itself. That's blatant fraud. Say payments. Let's see, the payment of the TANF benefits to the child of the non-close. It creates a debt from the parents in the amount of the TANF. Who is it a debt owed to who? Because they never gave you anything out of their pocket. When baby mama applied for this, when they apply for it, keep in mind, apply. Look at the definition of an application. I did a video on that. Look at the definition of an application. The application is a security. That is the money. They get Federal Reserve notes when they turn in those applications. So that's where they get the money from, and they're trying to make it look like they spent money. They never spent shit on your child, on nobody's child. They create the illusion and they turn the man into a debt slave. I'm saying the man because it's generally the fathers that go through that. Okay, and they create a debt. They create the illusion of a debt. The application is the money, anything, but it is the money because they turn it in exchange for Federal Reserve notes, which is however much that application was applying for. That's how much the Federal Reserve banks give them in Federal Reserve notes. And what they do is they create this illusion as if there's a real debt when really they just got money from the application. And they're getting paid twice because the application they got paid from, plus they're making the father pay double dip, basically paying that plus interest, or what they call arrears, which is the interest. Okay, so that's an illusion altogether. Y'all got to start reading this type of stuff. This is why I tell y'all to read the Federal Reserve Act. Federal Reserve Act Part 16, Section 16, Part 1 and 2, and it specifically Part 2 tells you that what the applications are, or what they get, how they actually get this money. Okay, so there is no damn debt. If ain't no money, how the hell they loaning money out? Okay, so this is a lie by itself. Let's see, the states operate under common law principles, which maintains that the father is obligated to reimburse any person who has provided his child for food, shelter, clothing, medical attention, or education. Okay. First and foremost, I can go off on a tangent about that whole statement right there, because if you never spent that out of your own pocket, you ain't do shit. Actually, if baby mama used my name, her name, we talking about, when I'm saying my name, I'm talking about my estate name, the name of my estate, the principal name, the name on the name, the social security number attached to it. All that information, and you put that on the application, they got paid already. Okay, so there is no damn debt. If your information was put on that application, they got paid from that. So that's how they were able to give your child benefits of any kind. This is how they were able to do it, is from that application, because the application is a security. If it's a security in which they got paid for already, then where is the debt? Where is the debt for real? If you got paid from the application, how do we owe you anything when you got paid from the application? So y'all, when you read that, this may sound like Spanish if you haven't read the Federal Reserve Act. If you want to pause this video and go look at the Federal Reserve Act, Section 16, Part 1 and 2. Read the shit, y'all. This is an illusion right here. Okay? Let's see. States can establish child support or obligations either by judicial or administrative process. Either or. Sounds like a separation of powers. Well, they said or. Anyway, we're gonna and now they're saying, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this video down because I didn't I done went past further than I wanted to go. But I wanted to find this one part. Where's that other part at? I'm gonna find it real quick. I'm gonna close with this part right here because it's just a kind of a reminder to help y'all understand that these court cases, they're not administered by people who actually are real judges. The Child Support Enforcement Manual actually says that. I found it right in here. Here it is. The federal regulations also contain additional requirements related to expedited processes. Proceedings conducted pursuant to either the expedited judicial or expedited administrative process must be presided over by an individual who is not a judge of the court. So let you know there's not a judge in these child support orders. Okay, so this is what. Let me keep reading. Orders established by an expedited process must have the same force and effect under the state law as orders established by full judicial process. Although either process may provide that a judge first ratify the order. Say, I don't want to sleep on that word. Let's see. Within these broad limitations, the state is free to design an expedited process that is best suited to its administrative needs and legal traditions. Say to approve or enact in a legally binding act that would not otherwise be binding in the absence of such approval. Okay. I was just reading, y'all. I don't like to skip over words and act like I just know what it means, and without really just kind of revisiting the definition. I kind of think. But notice up here at the top right here. Right here it says an expedited case. To expedite a case processing, a judge surrogate is given the authority to take testimony and establish a record, evaluate and make initial decisions, enter default orders if the non-custodial parent does not respond to notice or other state service or process. This is why I tell you got to respond. Don't run from getting served. Just respond to it. You got to respond to it. You get a notice or you get a service of process. Service of process is basically like when the county, the deputy comes to your house and serve you, or you get a process server that serves you, or you get a notice in the mail. You got to respond to it. You have to respond to it in a timely manner. Somebody contacted me and it was like, I didn't respond to it. I got it back in June, man, but I'm responding to it now. I'm like, no, bro, I got a default against you now. You can't wait 3, 4, 5, 6 months later. But anyway, accept voluntary acknowledgement of support liability. This is when somebody, I guess, they decided to go put themselves on child support, or they're just accepting it. But it does tell you it's voluntary. Okay, it's voluntary. So you see in this thing many times. You see voluntary in here, and you see agreement in here. Here it is again. You see agreement and approved stipulated agreements to pay child support, to pay support. These are things that y'all agreeing to do. So if you're agreeing to do it, you agree. Even if you agree to do it simply because you did not respond. If you don't respond, you agree. I just looked up acquiescence to show y'all that's what it means. It means to reluctantly agree without protest. If you don't respond to it, you agree to it. So if they default your ass into a contract, and that's what they did, and you agreed to it. And they did it under power of attorney. Okay, they did it under power of attorney. They can administer your estate when you decide not to administer it yourself. Okay, if this power of attorney was granted to them by your mother when you was a baby, when you first born, before you were born actually. Okay, when you were born, it kicks into effect. They start operating as the father. You okay? The Parents Padre Act. Remember me talking about the Parents Padre. Parents padre, parent of the country or homeland. Under the parents padre, the state or court has a paternal and protective role over its citizens or others subject to its jurisdiction. That's when they operate like that. They operate like that based on the mother's consent, and they operating as the father of the kid. That's probably why my name ain't in my son's birth records, and I witnessed his birth, But my name ain't even written nowhere in there. But and I'm on the birth certificate. But anyway, but they're playing that role. They're playing that role. It's when the state does that. See, the state or court, they operating as the paternal. That means the father has a paternal and protective role. They're acting like the father. When you're talking about, maternal, that's the mother. It's paternal, you're talking about the father. Okay? That's what they're talking about. So this is what they do under power of attorney. When you don't take control of your own estate, when you reach the age of majority, which is 18, you don't take control of it. You don't revoke that power. They continue to do this. They do this stuff on your behalf because you choose not to take responsibility and take control of your shit. If you don't take control of your estate, keep in mind after 4 years, you're presumed dead or missing any damn way. And according to the Cessna KV Act, you're presumed deceased after 7 years, and it depends on what state you're in. And remember, I told y'all even the Social Security Administration does that. Let's see. Presumption of death. Type in SSA. When a person is missing or presumed dead, we presume a person is dead if he or she has been missing from home and has not been heard from for 7 years or more. See, that's the Social Security Administration website. This presumption applies regardless of the reason for the absence. Okay? It's in their manual. This is their code. This is what they say right here. So all companies do this. All companies, including your light bill company, where you pay the rent at, they all do this. Because if you don't take control of your shit, you have no proof that you're operating as the man whose estate it belongs to. You're operating as the estate. They're going to treat you as the property that they have a paternal role in controlling. And that's what they're doing. They're operating as your parent because you ain't take control of your stuff. You have to take control of it. Revoke the power of attorney and take control of your shit. Take control of your life. Take control of the way you conduct your own business, your own private affairs. You don't need their help doing that. So they operate. So now I just wanted to kind of make this video to kind of bring it together, so help y'all understand why the power of attorney plays such an important role with what they're doing with the child support. Okay, but I'm gonna get on off of here, y'all. Hopefully this helped y'all out. If you hadn't liked and subscribed already, go ahead and do that, y'all. And I will see y'all I would be talking to y'all in the next video. I know I'm gonna get my weekend started, but hopefully I can still drop some more stuff down before the weekend is out. Until then, y'all be safe if you get out there. And we'll see y'all in the next video. Signing out.